What's going on, people? It is your boy Charlieinthebox, the patriotic miscreant. But I'm gonna have my box today is gonna be, it looks like, what direction as people are we going today? Let's get this video started. Today they say that millennials in America believe in the stars, in astrology, that they read their damn horoscopes and they believe that it's gonna come true. They say you don't have to go to church anymore to have a good moral set or compass. That they're gonna be God and their actions of how they do their works here upon this earth. They say that there's not too much after death because this is that all life has for them. They practice occult practices, they go to witchcraft, Santeria, and deal with black magic. They go and play the damn Ouija board and they think it's kind of damn fun. See, there's a spiritual war going on for man's soul today. And you could try to side and want to be with the darkness because they want to please your flesh. But I believe in the end, you're not going to like the direction where you're going to end up at. Today's scientists are genetically modifying God's creation. And we all know about the GMO corn by Monsanto's corporation, the ones that they fed to lab rats and got tumors and cancer and died. It was good enough for the mass public to consume, and it's a lot more cheaper. Well, they went as far as in these labs to genetically modify humans. We all heard that they said they necessarily don't need a man or woman anymore, that they could get hair follicles between 2 men or 2 women and they could make an embryo. You know what? They could go as far as getting 3 DNA from 3 separate people and making an embryo. And as that thing gestates in a human carrier, or human right now, you know what? They might even put it in a freaking cow. Look that stuff up. Well, as this thing is born, is it gonna have a soul? This isn't something that God created when he said he wanted us to procreate, that a male and a female come together and make a baby. This is something that man created in the lab. Well, Vladimir Putin just warned. He said that in the future, you're gonna have superhuman soldiers that have no feeling of pain or have no fear. They're gonna be obedient soldiers. This isn't science fiction that you guys seen on Star Wars or the Clone Wars, but that's happening today in the labs throughout the world. When we as a people today no longer hold the sanctity of life sacred, what direction are we going as a species? Because what I'm looking at, downright freaking nuts. As our children have been heavily propagandized with pop culture and our educational system, and we don't talk to them anymore, but what else do we accept? Those are our children. We had a hand in it. But since we can't communicate with our loved ones anymore, as our spouses, 50% of marriages in a divorce, well, look at our children today. That shit messing them up, living in separate households. And since they don't believe in God anymore, well, what do you think's gonna happen? And since our sense of morality has been taken away from us, because there's no moral ink anymore, well, the things that they're doing in behind closed doors with scientists is downright freaking evil. And those are just things that I told you about. How about if you were to hear that they got cows in China that had producing human breast milk? They have human breast. And eventually those embryos, they won't be carried in freaking women. Well, let's put them in a cow. That thing, human-like creature, ain't gonna have no damn rights. And this is what it looks like when you have a society that has no sense of direction. Living in a world where there's 6 global banks that control the world's currency, monetary systems of our governments. They're the ones that hold all the power. And as long as we as people aren't aware of what the adversary is doing and the tools of the devil and the deceptions, the lies and deceit, there's no amount of evil that we as people won't accept. When you get a sense of direction and know where you're going and put God first, amount of all this crazy darkness and evil necessarily wouldn't be going on, because you know that you're going to be accountable for your actions in this life and in the next. But as long as we as people choose to ignore the obvious because the writing's on the wall. Just look at everything that's going on. Do you guys understand the economic depression that's looming globally? Do you understand that you're living in a gilded cage? They're putting with the NSA spying and all these gadgets that are more better for us, that it makes our lives more easier and more secure. Well, those are tools of your enslavement. Forced inoculations. They're not just gonna say that you don't want to submit to these freaking vaccinations. Well, they'll force them on with genetically modified freaking organism with insects that will infect you with it, or just genetically modified eggs from hens and give you freaking their contraceptives or whatever it is in a freaking egg. And as we as people choose to ignore, these things are going on, but it's out of sight, out of mind, as long as the media don't tell you guys the truth. So there has to be some kind of sense of direction of where we're going as a species. If not, we're going to a path of destruction. I'm just telling you guys the stuff that necessarily what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, because I love you guys. If I didn't believe you, I wouldn't be wasting my time all the damn week. So if you're not going to do everything in your power to restore your life, liberty, and this country, you're going to do everything in your power to destroy all three. So peace, and I'm out.
Hello there. Watch Charlie in the Box before he's sent to a re-educational camp.
Right out.
Astrology, genealogy, Wicca, and they think, today they say millennials,